Welcome to Momsense. I'm Kyleigh.
I'm Kambria.
This week we're going to, I said again, dang it.
It's okay. It's okay. We critique ourselves a little bit much over here.
We do. So backstory on that is I watched our podcast from last week and I realized I said 5 million times. And it's kind of like Cam when she was talking about how she talks with her hands.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I had my moment.
Yeah.
So I apologize for saying
Naturally, you critique yourself
Yeah.
so much, especially whenever you're on camera.
Well, and then your brain's trying to process your
Yep.
thoughts.
Keeping
So,
up.
This week, we are talking about traveling with kids because Cam and I both traveled over the holiday weekend.
Yeah.
Kind of close, kind of far within
Yeah.
the area. So, tell me about your travels.
So, with my travels, this is obviously something we do quite often. My husband races micro sprints, and our home track is in Tulsa. So we typically, the drive to Tulsa is about 4 hours long, and we ride in the RV. As it's not even as the kids have gotten older, it's just every time it's just a fun memory making trip. So, with that, I said it too.
It's a filler word. It's better than like, I think.
Oh, for sure. So this trip, Kinsey was not with us, my 12-year-old. She wanted to stay back and go to the first high school football game. So
Woo.
she got to do that. And so it was me, Jet, and Oakley, which, Jet is so great in the RV now until he's not. And then Oakley is mobile and now wanting to actually be all over everything and not understanding why we can't really move. And so typically the kids and I just like lay in the back of the RV.
Yeah.
And this trip was a little bumpier than normal. And like midway through the drive, Justin will be driving on the Indian Nation Turnpike, and it's like the forever road of nothing.
Yep.
And it's just bumpy and bumpy and bumpy. And Jet and Oakley and I are in the very back on the bed. And I'm like starting to get car sick, thinking like, you're fine. It's fine. It's fine. And then Jet's like, Mom, I have to poop. And I know that.
Thankfully, you guys are in the RV and able to do that.
Yes. And I know that if I would have asked Justin to pull over, he would have. For me, I'm like, us pulling over feels more dangerous than stopping.
Yes.
So anyway, I am holding Oakley because I can't just leave her on the bed by herself or else she'll fall off. And then I'm trying to help Jet go to the restroom and pull down his pants. We got a wipe. All of the things. And it was just one of those that you don't even, he's a big boy now and it's very manly when he goes to the restroom. So in that moment, I'm like, now I'm standing and I'm holding Oakley and I, get him off the toilet and I go to stand up and I'm like, I'm going to throw up. And
oh, gosh.
I got so car sick with Oakley in my hand in the RV and Jet is just looking at me. He's like, Mommy, what's going on?
Oh my gosh. He's too funny.
And so it wasn't even really the kids this time. It was me, but
it happens.
But so tell me, you had a 9-hour drive versus my 4. Is that right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we went to Missouri. Brady has family there, and it was a great weekend of visiting people. We hadn't been since 2021, and so it's been a minute since we saw everybody. We did see everybody at our wedding, but we haven't been there to actually spend quality time with them. So it was really great. We had a great time. The trip there was great. Xander did so good. We drove. I think it's like 6-7 hours from here to Springfield. So we went to Springfield, Missouri, where the original Bass Pro Shop is. It's big. Yeah. It's got the aquarium and all of that. We thought that would be a great stop for Xander to get out, stretch his legs. 30-45 minutes prior to us getting there, he was over it.
Yeah.
We got on the road. I think we got on the road by 5 a.m. going there. We stopped one time prior to Springfield. So we did really good going.
Yeah.
We got out of the car, walked around, got back in the car, and Xander slept for a minute and then he was awake. He was mostly okay in that wait time, and then he fell back asleep until we got to our Airbnb. Coming home.
Mhm.
We, like I said, had a fantastic weekend. We initially planned to be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, get up early Monday and drive home.
Yeah.
Sunday night, we got back to our Airbnb at, we'll say 6 o'clock. We got dinner, got inside, sat down, ate, and Brady was like, "We're leaving tonight." Like,
Are you sure?
are you serious right now? He's like, "Yeah, we're leaving." I was like, okay. So
Thinking that Xander would sleep through the night.
well, yes, that was kind of his thought because every time we got in the car on Sunday to drive to different things, we went to a winery, we went to a,
Yeah.
grocery, we went walking around different. He was so past it. He did not want to be in his car seat.
Yeah.
He was like big tears down his face. It didn't
Oh.
matter what toy he had, a bottle, a snack. He did not care. He did not want to be in that car seat. He was
Yeah.
so done with it. So Brady was like, if this is what tomorrow is going to look like,
I don't want to.
we can't do this.
Yeah.
It took us still almost 13 hours to get home.
Oh, geez.
So we drove to Branson. So we got we'll say 3.5 maybe hours from Washington to Branson. Got a hotel. This was like midnight that we made it to Branson. And we got into our hotel, fell asleep, and then Xander was wide awake at 3 o'clock.
Oh.
Like sitting up, watching the TV, awake.
You're like,
From 3 until 5. So, bless Brady, because I was so exhausted, I couldn't even open my eyeballs to pay attention to
yeah,
Xander.
I'm like, here goes.
So Brady paid attention and stayed up with him for that 2 hour stint. He fell back asleep. We got up at 7. We didn't get home until after 2 o'clock.
Oh, geez.
So we were on the road by 7 and didn't get home till after 2. I can't imagine what that would have been like had we gotten up in the morning and left.
Oh, no.
We would have been home at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
It would have taken us so long to get home because we did stop several times coming home. Xander was just not having it.
Mm-mm.
He's great in the car, and that's a blessing. But when they're not great, holy cow.
My kids were not great in the car, and man, let me tell you, whoo, just the anxiety from...
You feel so anxious. You want to get them out. Yeah. You want to make them happy. I packed a million toys. I packed an iPad so that I could turn nursery rhymes on or...
Yeah. You got to pack the whole house.
I packed so many things, and it didn't matter what I did.
Yeah. And they have a mind of their own, you know?
Well, and how do your kids do? Mostly Jet and Oakley, since they're younger, versus Kinsey. Xander is very... This is not a we did anything. He is a very routine child.
Oh, mine are very...
So he generally goes to sleep around 7:30. Obviously, he did not do that throughout the weekend. It was... Maybe he fell asleep at 7, and then he was awake at 8 until 10 o'clock, and then he would fall asleep, and then he would wake up, and we packed our pack and play for him to sleep. And he sleeps in his own bed at home. We packed the pack and play, and he would sleep again an hour or two in there, and then he would cry, and you would try to put him back to sleep. And it got to a point where I was like, just put him in bed with us.
Yeah, like...
Just put him on our bed. And we're in a full-size bed, all three of us.
Oh, my.
So we're...
Crammed.
Brady and I are sleeping on this much of the bed, and Xander has the whole middle.
Yep.
But his schedule gets so thrown off that I think that plays a role in why he's so tired and just more cranky.
Oh, absolutely.
He was still a dream when we were out and doing things. It was when we were in the car that he was just not a happy camper.
Yeah.
But how do your kids do schedule-wise? Because mine does not do well.
So typically, I will say, since we're really only on the road for 4 hours, I plan to where we take off, we drive an hour, and then at that point, it's their nap time. So they nap for 2 hours, then wake up and we eat, and then we're pretty much there. Because my kids, I mean, people make fun of me all the time. Yes, it's so fun to make fun of me because I'm a psycho when it comes to scheduling. And people
Brady makes fun of me. He calls me the psycho bottle mom because I'll be like, we're missing a bottle. He's like, how do you know if we're missing a bottle? I'm like, well, we have 8 bottles.
Yeah.
And if we're missing one bottle, I don't want to lose a bottle because I need that bottle.
Exactly. And with scheduling for me, it's more so that I can have my time with Kenzie. You know, once the two babies go to bed, we have an hour with Kenzie before she goes to bed. Then Justin and I have an hour, and then we go to bed.
Yeah.
And if I don't plan it that way, then we don't necessarily even have time together.
For yourself.
And 8 o'clock bedtime, like, let me tell you what, I need that. Like, by the end of the day, after running around and all the things that we've done, I'm like, it's time for y'all to go to bed. You know? And so with traveling, I typically do just schedule it around that. But I will say, kudos to you for doing that. That's awesome. Because I know you don't regret it. Y'all made memories.
No, we had a great time.
And that's something so important.
And we will do it again.
It's so important to just take your kids along, go for the ride, make the memories. I mean, some of the best memories that I have with my kids are on the road.
Yeah.
And I mean, I remember one time we were driving to Tulsa. I was with my father-in-law. And for some reason, it was just me and Jet in their toter. And he is going to turn onto the highway. I don't know what he's doing. But in that moment, like, it felt very, like, abrupt. And it wasn't. But Jet goes flying, and I had blueberries in my hand. And the blueberries went flying. And, I mean, probably for, like, 3 months after, we were still finding bluberries under, like, where the slides come out.
So
you know?
funny.
And so, I mean, it's moments like that that's like, dang, like,
yeah,
it was rough, it was tough, but we made that memory, and it was fun. And that's one thing, I mean, you're never gonna forget that moment.
Well, and for Xander, you know, it's Brady's grandparents that live in Missouri. And so Xander hadn't got to meet his great grandpa or great grandma or really any of his cousins that lived there. And so it was really awesome to get to go and have that experience and have the opportunity, because there's lots of kids that don't have the opportunity to meet their great grandparents.
Exactly.
I had one set of great grandparents that were still living. They lived until I was almost 13. And so it was so good to get to have the opportunity to watch them interact and play. And
did you get pictures?
Of course I did. Of course. It was so good. And we love that family. That family is just very, very kind and just more chill. Yeah. And so you get to go, and we go sit at a winery, and everybody brings all of their kids and gets to hang out. And it's just so nice. And they have all girls. They just had one boy. Out of all of the kids, they have one boy that's 3 months old. Pretty sure he's 3 months. And then they've got another little boy on the way. But they're all girls.
How many?
5.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
5 girls.
Lots of girls there.
6 girls. 6 girls, 1 boy, and 1 more boy on the way. 7 total.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So getting to bring our boys, because we're a boy family. Like, we have Xander, and then Brady's middle sister, Jessica, she's got 2 boys and a girl. Brady's oldest sister, Ashley, she lives in Iowa, and she's got 2 girls. But our little Texas group is who went. And so we've got all boys except for Adeline. So it was really cool to just everybody interact.
Yeah.
And the girls are all so funny, and they're playing with the babies, and they're all trying to pick them up. And very motherly. So it was great to get to see them interact.
So tell me about how packing looked like for you. I mean, did you pack the whole house?
I tried to be really, really intentional about how I packed.
What did you forget?
I don't think I forgot anything.
Oh my gosh. So the past 2 times that we've gone somewhere, I forgot Jet's underwear.
Uh-oh. The good thing is, you go to Walmart, buy more.
Yeah. But I'm like, of all of the things, and it's twice in a row. Yes. Normally I don't make mistakes twice like that, but
it happens. You had a lot on your plate.
Yeah.
I don't think I forgot anything. Like I said, I tried to be really intentional about how I packed. The one thing I think that I wish I would have done better is packed more options for outfits.
Oh, yeah.
I was under the impression that it was going to be much cooler than it ended up being. What I forget is that it's so much more humid there.
Yes.
It's hot here, but it's humid there.
Yep.
And so although it is 70 degrees, maybe 80 at the most, you're pouring sweat. And so the things that I packed were, little shorts and t-shirts and sweatshirts for Xander. And the little shorts and t-shirts worked, but I packed the almost a little bit heavier material, like the
Yep.
cargo shorts instead, so that if it was chilly, he wasn't freezing.
Yep.
Thinking you might be in the 50s, 60s at night and the 70s, 80s during the day. And it was pretty much 70s, 80s
The whole
around the
time.
clock.
Yeah.
So I wish I would have done a better job of packing lighter clothes. Something to do in the future. But otherwise, I feel like I did a pretty good job. I did a pretty good job.
So tell me this, and I'll tell you what kind of person I am after you tell me.
Okay.
But are you the type that travels and you get home and you immediately unpack everything? Or do you just kind of like, yeah, let it hang out
I
and get
will
to it whenever you get to it?
not lie. I generally am the get to when you get to a person.
Really?
Since having Xander, I would say that I am an unpack it as soon as we get home. I think it depends on when we get home too. So in
Yeah.
this situation, we were home by 2:30. We unloaded the car. We took Xander to the pool to let him get some energy out. And then when we got home, I handed Xander off to Brady and started unpacking. I pulled all of our dirty clothes out. I packed really well to the point that almost all of our clothes were dirty. So I
Yeah.
just dumped the
That's
suitcase.
what I do every time.
Start putting stuff away.
Yeah, I have to unpack everything immediately. And Justin will be like, can you just relax? And I'm like, do you see that half of the RV is now in our entryway at our house? I got to make sure that everything goes back to where it was because I have my specific like RV stuff placed
Okay.
somewhere. And it needs
Okay.
to go back to where,
Otherwise, it will get
yeah.
put somewhere else in the house,
Yeah.
and you won't have it when you need it for the RV.
And then there's a possibility that I could forget it because,
That
it's
makes
not in the
sense.
right spot.
That totally makes sense. I generally I'll get to it later, especially if we get home late.
Yeah.
If we were to get home at 5, 6 o'clock at night, I probably would have been like, I'll deal with it later. I will not lie. Our house is an absolute disaster right now because we did do all of the laundry. So now all the clean laundry is sitting in bins,
Yeah.
being ready to put away. But we haven't had the opportunity or the slowdown this week to stop and put it away.
Yeah.
I took the time last night to clean the kitchen because we had dishes piled up in the sink and I was trying to cook a meal. And with it being a shorter work week,
Yeah.
work has been crazy.
I was gonna say, so traveling then working mom,
Oh
you
my
really,
gosh.
if you don't get it done immediately, it does have to just get done whenever it gets done because yeah, you're back at work, you're in full swing, you're
Yes.
busy. And so for me, I have the opportunity to be able to like get everything done. Yes, I'm a crazy person. I like to do it immediately, but like the laundry and stuff, typically everything by Monday night would be done.
Yeah. No, that's not how it works in our household. I wish it did. I'm very particular about our house being picked up. And so it does cause me a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
Truthfully, whenever our house is a complete disaster.
Yeah.
And so I probably will tonight take the opportunity to at least organize the chaos so that all of the laundry is in one area, or maybe I'll even go through and separate it and say like these are Xander's clothes, these are Kylie's clothes, these are Brady's clothes.
Yeah.
So that Brady can put his stuff away and not have to dig through the bin, and I can put all of Xander's stuff in his room. I will probably tonight try and make an attempt. We got back, Monday. Tuesday I went to work. Tuesday I had a work event, and so I wasn't home Tuesday night. Brady came with me, so he was also at that work event, so didn't get to do it Tuesday. Wednesday night, come home. I stopped at the grocery store on my way home to get some stuff to cook dinner. So by the time I got home, it was 7 o'clock, which is already Xander's bedtime. So you
thrown off.
lose the entire week whenever you travel.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Absolutely. But like I said, did you regret it? And
not an ounce.
You made the best memories.
Not
I'm
an
sure.
ounce.
And so tell me, do y'all already have your next trip planned?
Yes/no. So Brady's cousin Carson, he plays hockey in College Station.
Oh, fun.
And so last year I was pregnant a majority of the games.
Yeah.
There was 2 games, 1 game in College Station that Xander went to. He was maybe a month old at the time. So, I mean, he slept.
Yeah.
And then the other games that he went to were actually here in the area when Carson traveled here. So this year we have big boy Xander going with us.
Oh, yeah.
So our next trip that I can think of is in October. So, yeah, I mean, now College Station is 4 hours,
Yeah.
3, 4 hours away. So
A lot different of a
it's
drive.
not horrible.
Yeah.
And we can be strategic about what time we leave. And he'll sleep. So if I pick him up at 4 o'clock from daycare, that's typically his nap time.
Yeah.
You leave at that time and try and by the time he actually wakes up and is aware of what's going on, you're pretty much already there.
Oh, yeah.
So it's definitely different going the 4 hours. Even going to San Antonio, we went to San Antonio over the 4th of July weekend, and that's 6 hours. That was hard.
Yeah. Oh.
So I think anything past 4 is I'm like, about.
See, before I married Justin, I hated road trips.
Yeah.
I was like,
oh my gosh. I put
oh my
some
gosh.
miles on my car driving back and forth from wherever
Really?
prior to having Xander.
Oh, see, I hated road trips, and now we're on the road.
All the time.
Yeah. 2 to 3 weekends out of the month, and I'm like, man, that's funny. God sure is showing me.
Yes.
Like,
yes. Hey, we might be seeing you some at some races. One of
Oh.
our friends, Logan, I've told Justin this, he races and he actually just got his first sprint car.
Oh, that's awesome.
So he's been the I don't know what the next level down is, but he just got his first sprint car. So he's moving up.
That's fun.
Yeah.
You'll love it.
I'm excited for him.
Racing is fun, and the fact, like we talked about last time when we talked about resentment, the fact that it is a hobby that, we get to be a part of
Mm-hmm.
is huge. And I mean, Jet already has his first race car. I don't know how I feel about it, but
Brady is still trying to buy Xander a dirt bike or
oh gosh.
a side-by-side or a four-wheeler or something with wheels. And I'm like, he's not even walking.
Like, you better calm down.
He
Oh.
can't even put his feet on the floor
Oh, I
if he
know it.
wanted to.
It makes me so nervous.
Yes, it is nerve-wracking.
I don't
as
even
a
want to
parent.
think about it. And Justin's like, well, I was in a race car at 4. Well, Jet will be 4 in December. So I'm like,
Oh my gosh, I don't know how that's possible.
I know.
I
It's
don't know
crazy.
how it's possible.
But
Crazy.
anyway, do you have a mom win or fail for the week?
I think I'm gonna go with win. I'm trying to make sure that whenever we do these, if I do have a fail, obviously, let's highlight that because, girl, I mess up all the time.
Lots of fails.
I mess up all the time.
Yep.
But I feel like in the last week, they've been these teeny tiny little things. So I'm like, oh, that's not that fun to talk about. So my win is traveling and
Go you.
and doing the dang thing. And also being prepared.
Yeah. There's a
like I
lot.
said, I thought it out whenever I was packing. I packed all the toys. I packed the seat for him to sit in. I packed the high
Yep.
chair that attaches to a table. I was
Half the house.
prepared.
Yes. That's funny. That's good.
Yeah,
But good for you, though. Honestly, it takes a lot. And,
it does.
and
I don't know how you do it all the time.
it's a lot of work. But,
Once every so
Whew.
often is okay. All the time, you're a trooper, girl.
we get used to it. Honestly, one of our racing friends, the Flood family, Ashley Flood is a saint. She just had a baby in June 14th, Flag Day.
Ah.
It was the day after my birthday. We almost shared a birthday, me, her, and Oakley. But so she had Addie in June. We're July, August, September. They recently just got back from a 3-week racing trip.
Oh my gosh.
So I can't even take any credit like that because that
That's
woman is a saint for
crazy.
doing that with a newborn, and she has Luke, who is 2 years old.
Wow.
So honestly, like,
Shout out to you, Ashley.
yeah, shout out to Ashley Flood and they are back in Illinois or Indiana or somewhere already.
Wow.
And, she's killing it. But anyway, my
I'm
mom
gonna say, what's yours?
fail is,
Yes.
sometimes I just feel like my life is just ridiculously stupid with the random things that happen. And I'm like, surely this happens to other people. But so yesterday I get my grocery pickup, I throw everything on the counter, and we go to dinner, we come back, the house is still kind of like in shambles, and I'm going to change Oakley's diaper and get her ready for bed. Well, I realized, I don't have any wipes. So I take off her diaper in the process of changing her diaper. I'm like, oh no, I don't have any wipes. And I ran over to the kitchen, which is like 3 seconds away. And I come back, and Oakley just took a major dump all over the carpet. And I'm like, how? Why?
Oh,
And so I go to grab her, and it's all over her. And then it's all over me. And then I'm like, oh no, it's in my hair. I'm like, oh, this is gross.
Oh no.
And I'm like, Justin, run the bath water.
You're like, hurry up.
I'm like, get her, get me. Like, I had poop in my hair. I had poop all over
Oh my gosh.
myself. And
Brady could not handle it. Brady can hardly change a dirty diaper.
I was like, why? And I'm like, well, fail.
I thought you were going.
We're not in the room.
I thought you were going a different direction with that. When we were in the car, we stopped somewhere and I got Xander out. And they didn't have a changing table inside the bathroom, which is so terrible. Did I tell you about this? We went to I had to take Xander for his little heart follow-up. And at a children's hospital, no changing tables in any of the bathrooms.
That's so frustrating.
And I got to the doctor's office and I just asked him, I said, hey, like, do y'all in your office have a bathroom?
With a changing table?
No. But you can change him when you get into the room. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Get into the room and Xander peed, so it's not like I was throwing a poopy diaper in there. But on the trash can it says like, please do not throw diapers away in here.
Yeah.
I'm like, so you don't have a changing table. I can't change my kid anywhere else, but now I can change him in the room, but I can't throw the diaper away. Where am I supposed to throw it?
Makes no sense.
Geniuses. So there was no changing table. So I changed him in the back seat of the car and I just laid one of the seats down and sat up there and changed him because it's a flat surface. We've got bucket seats in the back and he'd be rolling into those. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So anyways, I took his diaper off and he is doing the death roll. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. So he rolls and I'm like, whatever. So I'm trying to like get the diaper all set out and top him back over. You know the little hole on the back of the seat that's got the bar so you can latch the car seat?
Yeah.
Dude peed in that hole. And I was like, I guess of all the places, that's the right place because it was plastic. Yeah. So he's not going to actually pee through it.
Oh my gosh.
But I was like, seriously? So I guess we can say that's a mom fail on my car trip, my road trip.
Oh, well, it happens to the best of us. But anyway, thank you for tuning into the Momsense podcast. I'm Kambria.
And I'm Kyleigh.